I have been playing a lot of Rage 2 over the last few days and I like it. It has solid gameplay with awesome weapons and cool enemies and a lot of nice upgrades to unlock as well. But I still find it very hard to recommend for the full price. I bought the deluxe edition of the game because my copy from Bethesda came in late and I already wanted to check the game out. But a tip from me would be to wait for the inevitable discount. Because if other Bethesda games are any indication, it means that Rage 2 will see the price slashed really soon. I will share more in-depth impressions and why I think you should wait for the inevitable discount in this video. Would be awesome if you could leave a like as it shows your support, and let's go. If you wanted an open world Doom style shooter in the post-apocalypse, then I think you will be very happy with Rage 2. The gunplay feels really good. You start out with a pretty regular assault rifle that feels heavy but is satisfying to use. Just like the handgun that you get from the start that shoots multiple bullets without using your sight, but while aiming you shoot a single bullet onto the target. And it's cool to see that weapons have secondary fire buttons to use in the different situations. Like, it's possible to go no scope with the hyper cannon, but charging it up while aiming will send out this beam that is strong enough to easily pierce through multiple enemies. And there are other weapons that are really fun to use, like the super powerful pulse cannon that you can keep shooting as long as it doesn't overheat. Something that you can, by the way, improve by upgrading the weapon. Like, there are a ton of options there and it's really fun to use a new or upgraded weapon on the many different enemies. And if you keep exploring the different corners of the pretty large map, then you will mostly encounter different enemies that require other tactics. Like the mutants will rush at you, so being able to take them out fast without needing a lot of precision is really the way to go here. While enemies with a lot of armor that are hard to miss require the most powerful guns, like the smart rocket launcher. So the combat feels great, but it's also really cool that you need to switch weapons based on the situations and the enemies you are fighting. And you will sometimes run out of ammo for the special weapons as well. I also like the diversity in locations, because the main story missions mostly take place in indoor areas that are way more tight and like in corridors, while the open world activities take place outside in the world, so you got way more room to breathe and to move. And this really holding this game together, because there's simply not much else in Rage 2. The story is not really that interesting, like you are the lost hope versus an evil that wants to take over the whole wasteland, and you'll meet some characters here and there that are not remarkable at all, just like the many town people that you talk to in the village or in the cities, that never really have an exciting monologue and just point you towards an icon on the map that you would otherwise go to as well. What Rage 2 is really missing is storytelling, like there are no side missions with funny twists or gameplay scenarios that really keep you on your toes. Or I haven't seen like any stories about the locations that you visit in the world. In my previous Rage 2 video I was kinda scared that this game would be go to the location, kill everyone there and then move on to the other location. And that is really what this game sadly is. The icons on the map really feel like icons on the map that you have to complete. Not really interesting locations that you want to go to for reasons that the game is telling you, or that have stories that you want to explore. Again, the gun combat and the enemies kind of save this game, but there could be so much more. I was pretty hyped for the Mutant Bash TV sort of horde mode feature in this game, with different areas and traps and enemies coming at you. And yes, it is a blast to play through this, but it's really short, like 4 areas that looked awesome, and after that I could replay it again, I guess. There are some challenges to switch it up, like only being able to use a handgun or rocket launcher, but I hope there would be more stages with different enemies and traps, but as far as I know, that is not the case. You do have one other location for the Mutant Bash though, but that is just you shooting mutants with a shotgun out of the sky. Not really that exciting at all. So if you don't mind that the gameplay is great, but the activities that you will use it for are not that diverse or interesting, then I still think this game is a ton of fun. I will totally be playing more, upgrading my character, killing the bosses in the world. I'm pretty excited about the big worm that will be coming post-launch and the live events that will be coming as well. Curious to see how that will impact the game. I will do some tips videos, I already got some planned, so keep an eye out on the channel for that. But I do have to say that it's kind of hard to recommend the game for full price. I think that $30 would be a way better get. And I would not be surprised if we saw a discount for this game soon, because the reality is that it's not that popular. It sits right now on a 13,000 player peak on Steam, and I'm sure that will increase during the weekend. Like, the first weekend after a game's release is always the biggest weekend, but just overall it's not a great sign. Like, recently Devil May Cry was, for example, released, and that has a peak of almost 90,000 on Steam, and Capcom announced that the game has sold around the 2 million copies on all the different platforms combined. So Rage 2 is far from that, with the Reddit only having 2.9 subscribers at this point as well. So again, I'm not trying to mock the game, I liked what I played, I just want to note that if the recent Bethesda games are any indication, then I think we will see a discount for Rage 2 pretty soon. Fallout 76 got a 33% discount after less than 1 week on the market. Wolfenstein 2, the new Colossus, also did not really set the world on fire and was discounted 50% 1 month after launch. Like Prey, Dishonored 2, all had pretty significant discounts pretty soon after release. Rage 2 has a robust post-launch content plan with paid expansions and free events, so they want people playing the game. So I think it makes total sense that we will already start seeing some discounts 1 week after release, maybe 2 weeks. And I totally think that after the discounts, it's completely worth it. Again, it's a fun game that will be supported after launch for a really long time. Again, they already showed their post-launch support, and I'm really excited for that. Like, it looks like some fun things to do in the game, because again, the core gameplay is really solid. So just having new cool activities to use that on would be really appreciated. I will have my Rage 2 tips and tricks up really soon, so keep an eye out on the channel for that. Subscribe if you haven't already, a like on the video would be super appreciated. And for now, I will speak to you next time. Goodbye!